Welcome back to the O'Shea Vlogcast channel. I am your host, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Today, I have a very esteemed guest, man. I've been following this gentleman for a few months now. He's a moderator in the chat. He's been booting a lot of you niggas up out of here. But today, we're going to talk to a very good sound producer and content creator, the Prophet of Thought series. What's going on, brother?
What's good, man? What's good? What's
Man,
good, folks?
glad to finally have you here on the channel. Let me ask you, what made you come on YouTube, and what is the Prophet of Thought series all about?
Um, what made me come on YouTube was wanting to speak to people about what was going on in Black society. Actually, a particular person, um, a girl named Hadia Pendleton, who reminds me a lot of my daughter. When she was killed back in 2013. She reminds me so much of my daughter. My daughter was the same age. She even kind of looked like my daughter a little bit. And when she got killed, I was like, I gotta get on here, man, and say something to the folks. I gotta talk about this. And that was one of the first videos that I ever put out talking about what had happened to Hadia Pendleton. And it just went from there. I started out with one little tiny camera. It was like a $10 camera. I started out with that before all the computers and the programming and the audio programs and all that stuff. I had one little tiny $10 camera that I used to use and stand it up on a stand and put it in front of a poster. Okay, and just kind of talk behind it, with no music or nothing. That's how it all started. And yeah, it was really corny. If you go into my old files, you'll see how my stuff has progressed over the while, over the course of time. You'll see how it progressed. That's what got it all started, man. Hadia Pendleton getting killed. That's what started it all.
Okay, cool. And so then once that murder occurred, what did the Prophet of Thought series turn into?
Well, first, let me tell you how I came up with the Prophet of Thought. Because you hear a lot of people talk about prophesize, and I guess it comes from my old days. Because I was raised by church folks. I was raised by ministers and bishops and deacons. I mean, that's my background. I have a background of church. I probably walked in and out of more churches than the average person because my father was a Sunday school teacher. My grandmother was a minister. My grandfather on my mother's side was a minister, and my grandfather on my father's side was a bishop. So I was surrounded by church folks. So the Prophet of Thought, when I came up with that, I wanted to be able to tell people things, but I wanted to be able to tell people things that would make them think, not make them pray, not make them put money in the collection basket, not make them, think their life was going to be better tomorrow. I wanted to talk about things that was going to make people think. That's why you hear me say all the time, open your mind. At the end of every one of my shows, pretty much when I do a radio show, people know that one thing I tell people, I don't expect you to think like me, or I don't expect you to think like members of my team. I just expect you to think, period. Because TPOT Media isn't just me. Of course, I'm the boss, of course, but I mean, I have other people. I have other members. I have teacher Tanisha out there in New York City. She's my New York City correspondent. She chimes in on some of my stuff. She's actually on some of my videos. I got my little man, Shorty Doo-Wop. He's a little 11-year-old kid, and he has been doing voiceovers for me ever since he was about 5. If you listen to some of my soundtracks, you actually can hear some of his voices, some of his voiceovers on my track. So it's not just me, it's a few other people. I actually had a very big team at one time, but I've kind of trimmed the fat off. I used to have a digital engineer. I had a co-host. I had teacher Tanisha. I had Shorty. I had another little kid. I mean, I've slimmed it down a bit. So it's only about 3 or 4 of us now. So.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because you want to get people to think, but what I've noticed is you have excellent commentary, not only about the Black community, but you have excellent commentary regarding black male and black female relationships.
Oh yeah.
And you also had a lot to say about this gender war thing, but let's talk about what the Prophet of Thought series, how it relates to black female and black male relationships, and kind of give your take on that.
Oh yeah. Well, as you know, I listen to brothers like you and Valdez, and actually that's how I found out about you, through Valdez. I mean, I found out about a lot of you brothers through him. I mean, shout out to the Angry Man. Yeah, cause the Angry Man. I mean, I didn't even know about a lot of you guys until till me and him start chopping it up. That's how I discovered you and Obsidian and all these other guys. But anyway, um, I don't do a lot of female male stuff. I've done a lot here lately because of what's been transpiring with this whole flagathon and all this kind of nonsense. So the last few videos that I've made have focused on that, but I don't really do that. I mean, I do a lot of interviewing of people as well, but here recently, it's been some stuff going on, and being that I'm a black man, I think that I would be doing my listeners a disservice, my followers a disservice, and all the brothers out there in the manosphere a disservice if I didn't speak on it to a degree too. So, far as black men and black women relationships, I have a lot to say about it because number one, I have a woman, okay, um, and she's guilty of some of the shit that we talk about. Okay. She's not, she's not like, she's got some of that shit going on too. And I let her know it. I let her know it. She's just not as bad as, the rest of them, because if she was, her and I wouldn't be together, of course. But, I mean, I've been around a lot of black women in my life. I was raised by a black woman. I have 4 sisters. Um, I have a baby's mama, just like most brothers do. Um, so I've been through the gauntlet, man. I've seen how they deal. Um, I've watched them, and the crazy thing is that some of the things that we talk about now on here, brother ODJ, we've witnessed this stuff 5 and 10 years ago, and we saw it. We knew what it was, but I think we were not able or equipped or ready to speak on it. Because it's
Mhm.
not like this stuff has just appeared today or yesterday. The shit that goes on now, man, far as between black women and black men, has always gone on. It's not new stuff. It's not. It's always been here. It's just now that we are starting to talk about it over the course of the last 5 or 10 years. It's always been here. And I think brothers have always sensed it and felt it. But I think we still had that kind of sympatron kind of, thing going on with us. So, we didn't really want to say anything. We didn't want to hurt the feelings of the black folks. We didn't want to hurt the feelings of the black women. We didn't want to do none of that because we were still wearing that sympatron outfit. But now
Mhm.
that we've all kind of broke out of that sympatron phase, now we can talk about it. Um, as far as how we relate, black men and black women, I'm a true believer that, and I've said this many, many times, that it's never going to get better until females get in order. Um, I had a while back, I had Sister Shahrazad Ali was on my show. She's been on my show a few times. Her and I are actually friends, and she says the same thing. And she's a woman, and she says, things aren't going to get right for black society until the women get in order. Now, when you tell women that, they're like, "Oh my God, what you talking about? It's black men, and y'all are doing this, y'all making baby mamas, and all of y'all are in jail and all this kind of nonsense." But it's one of those cases where what came first, the chicken or the egg? You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, it's the chicken that came first. 9 times out of 10, it's the chicken, and the chicken being black women, because they have created. I'm not going to say all black women. I'm not saying all that. I don't want y'all writing ODJ or writing me talking about, oh my God, you're bashing, because whenever you tell the truth, people say you bashing. But there's a lot of women out there who have made very, very, very horrible choices in life. They've made horrible choices about, their sexual activity. They've made horrible choices about the guys they've chosen, and a lot of them have just straight up made horrible choices about having children at all. Okay, I know they don't want to hear that, but a lot of them shouldn't even have kids at all. And they've made these horrible choices. And what they have done is they've doomed these children, man. They've sentenced these children to live in the worst of neighborhoods. They've sentenced them to go to the worst of schools, be surrounded by the worst of environments. And these things could have been avoided. Because see, one thing about kids, they don't ask to be here, and they don't get to choose where their mama live. They don't get to choose where they go to school. They don't get to choose the people that they are around. They don't get to choose the geographical area that they're in. Their mothers do. Their mothers do. So when a child is forced to be within these environments, man, we can't get upset, or we can't scratch our head and act like we don't know why this dude grows up to rob bodegas and knock old ladies in the head in the subway. And I mean, because look at what he's faced with. He's growing up in a household where he's barely eating, he's barely being clothed, he's barely being taken care of. His mama ain't doing nothing but wearing blonde wigs and chasing new penises. Okay, he's watching her traipse guys in and out the house. I mean, a guy, you're not going to get a lot of doctors, lawyers, physicists, scientists. You're not going to get a lot of that coming out of that kind of environment. You're just not. So, and then when you take away the men out of the equation, you're definitely not going to get good results. And women have to understand that and own it. Because, go ahead.
Let me do this real quick, because you're making some good points. I want to go back to the point that you said. In your, I'm assuming you're in your 40s at least.
Yeah.
You made a great point that black men have been having the same issues with black women for many years. They're now deciding to come out of their sympatron, as you said, and come out of it, which is very funny. But let me ask you this: what, in your opinion, what do you think has made black men step out of that sympatron and start going public with their issues and with our issues?
I think a lot of it is men just being tired. Men are tired. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of the backwardness. They are tired of being blamed. First and foremost, because men, we've been blamed for decades for the state of black society. I think men are just fed up. And like I said, I think these are things that we as men, we have always known this stuff. We've always seen it. It's just that most of us, we're just born simps. We're born simps. We have to break out of that whole simpatry, because we're all born simps. Especially those of us who are raised by these heifers. I mean, if our mama's a heifer, there's a pretty good chance we're a simp. That they go hand in hand. A heifer mom usually equals a simp son. So if we raised by heifers, we turn into simps, and until we pull ourselves away from whatever it is that's keeping that shield of sympatry around us, until that's cracked and we come out of that, then we start to realize, hey, this shouldn't be this way. Hey, this shouldn't be like that. Hey, I deserve more. I deserve better. I deserve more as a man. I deserve more respect. I should be able to choose the women that I want to be around. I shouldn't have to settle for a baby mama. I shouldn't have to settle for a woman that's 350 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So, we've all been indoctrinated that all this backwards ass shit, and I like to say jack backward ass, all this jack backward ass stuff, we have been indoctrinated and conditioned to think that it's normal. It's normal to be with a woman that got 5 kids by 5 dudes. It's normal to be with a woman that has orange hair and blue contacts, and all this stuff we were indoctrinated with it being normal. And once you break out of that and see things for what they really are, that's when you start to understand not only the world, but I think you start to understand yourself as a black man. That's just my take on it.
Let me also ask you this. It's a very good point, because you said you talked to sisters. I forgot her. I've seen her videos before. Sister Shahrazad Ali. How do you say her name?
Shahrazad Ali.
Shahrazad Ali. Okay, yeah, very, 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 very good speaker too. She has a lot of different views that most black women of today don't like. One of them, she said that black men should have more than one man, one woman. I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
And if you could ever connect me to her, I would love to have her on the show if you could. So
I'll put the word out, because like I said, her and I, we like friends. We talk quite often, so
mhm.
I'll get in contact with her and see if
Okay.
she's willing to come through. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, man, you're putting on a great show. I just really, really appreciate you stopping by. We got to do more of these because you do have a great radio voice and you're very, very highly articulate. And this is going to be a great soundbite for the brothers who do download this and want to listen to it on their way to work. Let me ask you this. You said black women must get their house in order and so that the black community can become better. How can black women get their house in order, in your opinion?
Well, first and foremost, they need to realize who they are, own who they are. Um, Take a good long look in the mirror. I mean, some of us black men, we do too, but we're talking about women now. But they need to own who they are, understand where they are in life, and what they also need to do is understand their position. It's sort of like a football team. Okay. If I'm if I'm a running back, okay,
Mhm.
or I'm a wide receiver, I'm not going to be looking to throw the ball every play, because see, that's the quarterback's job. So you kind of have to know where you play on the team. And I think a lot of women don't realize where they play on the team. They're on defense. They're like a linebacker, but they want to run out there, when the team is on offense and throw the damn ball like the quarterback. So I mean, they have to. I think they have a lot of them really have to. That's how they're going to get themselves, and that's how they're going to get their houses in order first and foremost. I mean, and it's not necessarily a physical thing. Of course, a lot of them need to get rid of the wigs, fake contacts, and a lot of them need to get rid of that stuff, because that's some of it just looks ridiculous. But it's not so much of a physical thing. I mean, it's more of a mental thing. I mean, you can deal with a woman. I know me particularly. I can deal with a woman who's maybe a 4 or a 5 if she has a pleasant disposition, as opposed to an 8 or a 9 who is just, she's nasty, she's bitchy, she's got this overinflated view of herself. I mean, because all that matters. Because let me tell you something, as fine, and I said this in one of my videos, I mean, you can be fine as hell and still be a straight jackass. So I mean, all that plays into it. And what I think a lot of women need to do is they really need to sit down and reevaluate themselves, man. And kind of face their bad decisions, and kind of face their mistakes, face their shortcomings, and realize that they're there so they can fix them. Because us as men, that's what we have to do. There's no
Mhm.
excuses for us. We can't say, oh, it's this, that, or the other thing. No, whatever we do, we got to live up to it. Whatever we do wrong, we got to face those consequences. We have to face those repercussions. There is no ducking out of it. Women have been able to duck out of it over the past half a century, if not more.
Let me ask you this because you gave a good scenario of you'd rather have a 4 or a 5 with a good disposition than an 8 or a 9 who acts like a bitch.
Hmm.
Okay, so let me throw you for a loop real quick. I was watching Tommy Sotomayor the other day, which I typically do not watch him a lot, but I think after this last week, I have been watching some of his videos, and he makes the point that a lot of black women have are 4s and 5s, but have that bitch disposition about them. Okay,
Hmm.
so you're already not maybe as attractive or beautiful as you could be, as you mentioned, with all these different kind of colored wigs or weaves and shit, and you have a bad attitude. Now, is what he's saying not true, or from your experience living on the East Coast, is it true? And how do you feel about that?
It's true. It's true. I mean, I don't watch a lot of Sotomayor stuff either. I watch TNN Raw 2. I don't watch a lot of Tommy stuff, but I mean, let's face it. A lot of the stuff that's said on his videos and other brothers like yours, I mean, the stuff is true. That's why it bothers people so much. I mean, it is true. It does hit home. It does ring bells. It does make people say, damn. And the crazy thing about it is that I don't think that so much that is true and it hits home. I think that it's more so that the people that it hits home with and they realize it's true about them. I think what bothers them the most is that they realize what they're doing is backwards and jackass. They realize it, but they have no intentions on changing it. And I think that's what bothers them more than anything else. I
Hmm.
do. That's
Hmm.
that's just my point of view. But far as uh far as the fours or the fives as opposed to a 9 or a 10, I mean, I guess every man wants a 9 or a 10, but
Hmm.
every man wants a 9 or a 10 that he can deal with. I mean, what's good having a woman that's a 10 if you and her always arguing and she's bitching and she's never satisfied and she's high maintenance and all that kind of nonsense. I
Say it
mean,
again. I don't think I
yeah,
heard you. Say that one more time because you
yeah.
made a great point. Say it one more
Yeah,
time.
doesn't matter if she's a 10, if she's high maintenance, she's always bitching, y'all always arguing, y'all always going through complications. I mean, because in that sense, she's not a 10. Because if she's a real 10, none of that happens.
Mm.
None of that happens. She may be a 10 in looks, but she's probably a 2 in personality. Okay, she's a 2 in personality. Now, mind you, if you're a woman, but I also feel like this: if you're a woman that's a 1 or 2 or 3, you have to bring way more to the table. You have to bring
Hmm.
way more to the table. I said this in my video too. You have to cook, clean, sew, wash cars, fix computers, watch sports. You have to do all of that. Plant gardens. You have to do all that. Hunt our food. You have to do all that kind of stuff. So you, because see, that makes up the extra points. And let
Hmm.
me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you ladies out there who may be 9 or 10s. Okay, you may be a 9 or 10. But if your ass have 2 and 3 babies, for every baby you've had, you've lost a point. Remember that. So you're not a 10 anymore. You're a 7. You're a 6. Every time you have a baby, that's a point lost. Remember that, ladies. Remember that. So if you already a 5, you better only have 2 babies. Because you can go down 2 or 3. If you have 5 babies, you're gonna start getting into the negative numbers now. You're gonna be a -1, a -2, a -3. So don't start getting counted backwards out there. I'm just saying. I just want to throw that in there.
Let me do this real quick. First of all, wow, this is I knew it was going to be a good interview, but even better than I expected. This is a great sound quality. This is actually sounds like a real talk radio show.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah, man, it really does. If
Okay.
you guys are enjoying the show, press 1 in the chat box. Um, I mean, we got one nigga hating, but he said, "Nah, I could be better." I don't know if he's talking about the right. I don't know if he's talking about the show or if he's talking about writing. So I think he's talking about writing for the website. But anyways, great show. You guys do me a favor. Let's like the video. We have 83 watching right now. So thank you, brothers, for coming in. We make this content specifically for the African American male. That's what this channel was about. The Brother Prophet of the Thought series is in here with us. He's a very, very bright man, very, very smart, highly articulate. He knows what's going on. He's an OG in the game. So for the younger brothers out there trying to pick up the game, this is the kind of guy you want to be listening to. Okay, he has a lot of good information. He's done a lot with his life. All right, so we need the brothers like this to come back in the lead and teach our young men. And hey, I'm learning too as he's talking. So that's why I'm being quiet. Okay, so you brothers got to understand when you have a person that's coming onto your platform that got knowledge, it's always good to sit back and just soak it in, because when you soak it in, you can apply it. All right, so let's like the video, brothers. And the next thing that we want to do is for the Prophet of Thought series. We want to subscribe to the brother's channel. Okay, he's a good YouTuber. He needs to have more subscribers than he needs to be. Okay, so let's go ahead and click in. I see Theron Williams in the building. Unity Boxing, Rob Rico. Just While Okay. You guys subscribe to Prophet of Thought series channel. All right. My goal is bottom nine. I know we have 89 watching. There's 197 subscribers. I want to take them up to at least 250. So all the brothers that's in the Negro Manosphere, you're in the chat tonight. I'm going to post his link into the description. Let's go ahead and subscribe. If you're a brother, you really want to be listening to this guy's channel. He makes a lot of great points. So you want to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and subscribe to the channel, y'all, and comment sub here in the chat box section so that we know that that you have done so. All right, what's up, Truth from Tony? So yeah, people from work listening in, make sure you subscribe to Prophet of Thought series. Let's get back into the interview, because you made a good point that black men are tired of being blamed for the failures of black women, even if black men as a whole may not have anything to do with the failures. Why do you think it's so easy for black men to be blamed many times for things that they didn't do by black women?
Because as a people, we have been taught. Now this is what's crazy. We have been taught that the man is the head, the man is the lead, the man is supposed to be the provider and the protector, and he's supposed to, he's supposed to stand, stand at the top of the mountain as far as the family's concerned, the neighborhood's concerned, the community's concerned. That's what a lot of us are taught. But at the same time, when anything goes wrong, the man is always the one to blame. It's sort of like this. I've heard this saying where you can have 1,000 data boys and one all shit messes it all up. So if these men who they have, the men who that they have said are supposed to lead, and they supposed to do this, and they supposed to do that, and they supposed to be strong, and they supposed to, take care of their babies and all this kind of nonsense. If they feel, if black society feels like things are wrong, they're going to blame the men. They're going to blame the men, even though these same men that they say supposed to be the leaders, they say supposed to be the head of everything, they say supposed to be at the top of the mountain, they have been pushed out of that position at the same time. It's like a double negative. It's a double negative, because they say black men are supposed to do this and black men are supposed to do that, but black men have been forced on most occasions, like, out of anything. Black men don't have any power. Black men don't have any voice. Black men don't have any say. And if you find a man who has a voice, has a say, as an alpha male, the first thing they say, because they say it about me, they say, oh, you're a male chauvinist, you're an asshole, you're this, you're belligerent, you're this, you're that. And basically all I am is being a man. I'm just being a man. That's what they call you. I get called that all the time. I always get called, oh, you're a male chauvinist, you're this, you're that. I get called that all the time because of the way I talk. I don't, something I don't do is I don't placate to women. I don't placate to my woman. I don't placate to my daughters. I have grown daughters. I don't placate to them. Okay. I don't placate to the women that I know, the women I work around. I just don't do it. They don't get any special treatment because, they got a hole between their legs. I mean, if you want special treatment, you need to make yourself worthy of that special treatment. And just showing up with your damn vagina isn't enough. You have to earn that. I got this saying from Valdez. He says, a woman deserves what she earns. So if you want special treatment from me, you best earn it, girl. Because you're not just going to get it because, you got a breast and vagina. No. And a lot of them have that on the brain. They think they can just show up and I'm a female, I'm a black queen, I'm an empress, I'm whatever, and I'm supposed to be able to say what I want, do what I want, have what I want. And that's not the case with me. And they find that out very, very quickly. But all the women who are around me, they know that, because I have a lot of women around me. Like I said, I have wife, daughters, stepdaughters, I have 2 granddaughters. They all know the deal. They know the deal when it comes to X. They approach me totally different than they approach other dudes in their lives. Totally different, because a lot of them are around a lot of beta males. who let them do and say whatever the hell they want. When they come to me, their whole facial expression change, their tone, their body language, all that shit changes when they step to me, right off the rip. They act like girls when they round me. That's what they're supposed to do, because that's what alpha males make women do. We make them act like females. They have to act like females. No bass in the voice. No male mannerisms. No male lingo. No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. They act like girls when they're around me.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, because you said that women need to earn the respect of men. And I think the problem that many black men are having, in particular, a lot of younger black men, and I'm talking about younger black men under the age of 40, because 30s a new 20, 40s a new 30. In your opinion, what can black men do to make black women earn their respect, or our respect as a group of men?
The first thing we need to do is stop placating. We have to quit putting off that energy where, because women, they can kind of pick up our energy to a degree, and we got to quit putting off that energy like, okay, you can get over just because you're a woman. I mean, if you're a person that's out to get over, it shouldn't be just because you're a female. It shouldn't be just because of that. If you, like I said before, if you want special treatment, it shouldn't be just because you're a female. And men, we've allowed it. We have allowed a lot of it. A lot of the stuff that goes on with these women right now, I'm not saying we totally responsible for them, but a lot of the stuff that these women do, we have allowed it. We have created the conditions for it to fester. We've created the conditions, especially when we out there with the sympatry. When we out there, we being sympatron robots, and we falling in lockstep and doing all the stuff that simps supposed to do, kissing their ass, letting them say what they want to you, do what they want around you, talk to you any particular way. We have set that up because we can stop them. We can stop them. I'm telling you, like all the women that's around me, trust me, they act like females when they're around me because they already know what I expect of them because I tell them. And we need to be more vocal at the expense of hurting feelings. At the expense of hurting feelings. When I talk to my woman, I talk to her straight out. I don't soften the blow because she's a woman and she shows me a vagina every now and then. I tell it to her like it is. And you know what that does? She may not like me all the time, but she respects me all the time. See the difference between beta males and alpha males. See, women, they like beta males, but they don't respect them. Alpha males, they hate us, but they have to respect us because we make them. We make them respect us by who we are. The more alpha males in the room, the more feminine women are going to act. I guarantee you. That's just a fact. When there's alpha males on the scene, women act like women. They try to act like quasi men when they're around beta males, because beta males are going to let them get away with it. Because women are going to try to out alpha you, especially if she's a type A personality woman. She's going to try to out alpha you. And if you let her, she will. So you got to nip that in the bud right off the rip. Soon as you meet her, at the expense of never seeing her again. If it's a woman you're trying to get with, meet, and you feel like she's trying to out alpha you, don't let her do it. Even at the expense of never seeing her vagina, if you will.
Let me ask you a question, because I want to get into, now that we've laid the groundwork, we can kind of really dig into the topic, because you've done a really excellent job of giving us a basis where we can be established on the particular conversation. Now, when we're talking about a feminine presence, okay? Black men want a feminine presence. Now, before I ask you the question, I really didn't know what a true feminine presence was until I came to Poland. Because, I'm 34 years old at the time. I really did not know, really what female femininity should be until I was like, maybe around other races of women for the most part. or really when I came to Poland. So I really want to know, in your opinion, when you say black men want a feminine presence, because you did a video on this
Hmm.
or hinted to this, in your opinion, what is a feminine presence for a black woman? So if they're listening and she asks you, what is a feminine presence? What are you going to tell her it would be?
A feminine presence is when I'm just giving y'all my opinion now. It's not like
Mhm.
this is coming out the Webster dictionary or nothing. This is coming from, X's brain. Uh, a feminine presence is a woman who, number one, respects a man. Um, Not just respect him as a man, but respect whatever position that man holds as far as she's concerned. Um, a feminine presence is a soft presence. Her presence is soft. Her presence is demure. Her presence is not loud, argumentative, hostile or toxic. I mean, none of that. If she has a feminine presence, you feel that in the way she speaks to you, the way she looks at you, the way she comes to you, the way she asks you things. And a woman who has a real feminine presence, she knows how to use it. Okay. It's one thing when a woman comes at you with that masculine kind of tone where she's rearing up and she's asking you about something. She's probably not going to get it, especially not from me. She's not going to get it. But it's different when she comes to you and she's soft and she's demure and she grabs your hand and she gives you that look. It's just totally different. So when you want a real feminine presence, you don't want to sense any masculinity coming from her. Because we all know, I mean, this is no secret, and I know some of the ladies out there may get mad at me, but a lot of black women are kind of masculine. They have some masculine energy with them. They use masculine lingo. They move masculine. They use masculine hand gestures. They talk masculine ebonics. I mean, they have some masculine traits to them. So if they were to soften that up, try to get away from that, get away from the masculine gestures, get away from the masculine approach, and speak with a softer voice. Ain't nothing like a woman with a deep ass voice. Jesus Christ. you know there's nothing like a woman who's got a voice deeper than mine, and I got a pretty deep voice. So if your voice is deeper than mine, you need some help, sister. Yeah, you need some help.
Let me ask you a question, because I have 4 points, and I'm probably gonna do a response video this week on this on my main channel. One of the things you talked about was a woman being affectionate. Being affectionate. Now, the woman that I have, is very, very affectionate. Now, it was maybe a little bit more harder for me to get that feminine energy out of her. But once she, submitted to it, um, the affection came. It just kind of like oozed out.
Hmm.
But I do notice when I see, the women here with their men, or even if I see a Polish lady or Ukrainian lady with a black dude or a non-black guy, I notice it's a lot of affection, a lot of catering to that man, a lot of submission to that man, and that woman enjoys being in that particular role. Why do you feel, maybe in your opinion, that African American women or Western black women, maybe in London, UK? Thanks, Perry, and thanks to hold on a second. Coyote, thanks, Perry. Thank you so much. You always give a lot, Perry. Man, you don't really do that, but appreciate you, brother, for the super chat. Why do you think African American women, or even our sister women in the United Kingdom, why do they have such a hard time with being affectionate to the brothers?
Because they don't respect our masculinity. Um, your woman is going to act really feminine if she respects your masculinity. If she has a respect for your masculinity, she's going to be really feminine when she's around you. I know my wife is. I mean, she's a real feminine woman. She's very, very feminine. She speaks in a nice, nice level, soft tone, her voice isn't deeper than mine and all this kind of nonsense, so I mean, if she has a respect for your masculinity, she's going to be really feminine and it's going to show. But that also has a like goes back to the men. I mean, if you're a masculine man, you're going to kind of draw that out of her just by your very presence. You don't have to say or do anything, just your presence, your aura. I have a saying that, when I walk into the room, the testosterone stinks up the place. I say that a lot, so when your testosterone stinks up the place, it's automatically going to make, because women love they love the scent of testosterone. They love it. It makes them act like women. And it's not even women, it's not even necessarily your woman. I mean, if you're a man and you ooze masculinity, when you come around women, they're going to act like women when you're around. They can sense your masculinity, just like they can sense your lack thereof. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They can sense it. Women can sense your masculinity. Most of them, anyway.
Let me ask you this, because you made a good point. Women can definitely sense if you have a lack of masculinity. I think we have a lot of brothers who need help. They email me all the time, and I do think that a lot of these brothers are missing expressing that masculinity or letting women know that they are masculine. And you can do that without being a thug or without being acting like you're a rapper or a drug dealer. You can
Hmm.
have that as a man in whatever you do. What can brothers do, especially if you're a younger brother out there? You want to improve your masculinity and allow women to let you know, let women know you're masculine aura as a man. How can brothers improve on that, in your opinion?
Well, first, first you have to give off a vibe that you are a man, and I know that that's not always easy for everyone to do as a man. Um, you can give off the vibe that you're a man without saying a word. How you move, how you carry yourself. Keep your chin up when you walk. Don't look at the damn ground. Keep your hands out your pockets. Okay. When a man walks, he walks looking upward. He don't look at the ground. Keep your hands out your pockets when you walk. Okay. And when you stand, stand straight. When you sit, sit straight. All right. When you deal with people, look them in the eye. Okay, you can convince people of your masculinity, but first you have to feel it within yourself, even if it means you got to go into a mirror. All you young brothers who've been writing O'Shea and you have problems with your masculinity, I'm gonna give you a little homework assignment right now. When you get off of this vlogcast, go to your mirror, look in your mirror. Okay, and when you stand there and look in your mirror, I want you to say to yourself, I'm a man. I'm going to stand up straight. I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to carry myself like a man. I'm going to think like a man, because that's one of the biggest things. You have to think like a man. Now, most of us brothers, we've been raised by these women. So what has happened? We've been indoctrinated. We've been conditioned to think like them. First thing you got to do, if you want people to recognize your masculinity, young brothers, the first thing you got to do is start thinking like a man. You have to think like a man. You can't think like a woman and expect people to see you as a man, because your thinking is going to affect your behavior. If you think like a woman, more than likely you're going to act like one and react like one. So first thing you got to do is start thinking like a man. And trust me, the more you think like a man, the more you will start to act like one. I promise you. I promise you.
Let me ask you this, because brothers are gonna be like, well, okay, I am kind of emotional, like my mom. I'm always ready to be angry or fight at somebody I don't know. What I don't like, rather, what is thinking like a man, Professor Prophet of Thought? If somebody, I hear what you're saying, but
Mhm.
what is thinking like a man in your opinion?
Well, me, I've been around a while. I'm in my 40s, and I've been through a lot in my life. And one thing I've discovered is that men, we think before we act. Uh, I'm walking down the street, man, and somebody step on my shoe. My first thought isn't going to be to hit them with a right hook. It's just not. because I'm not conditioned to think that way. Even if it upsets me greatly, it's not going to set me to the point where I want to punch them, stab them, shoot them, whatever the case may be. So when you talk about thinking like a man, you have to think, period. Because men, we are thinkers. Women are feelers. If everything that happens to you brings upon some emotional response, my brother, you are thinking like a woman. You're thinking like a woman, because not everything in life is emotional. Believe it or not, very little is. Very little is. Because you can think your way out of pretty much anything. You can't feel your way out of nothing. So the first thing you got to do is think, period. Because a lot of those things that cause you to react like a woman, that's not you thinking, brother. That's you feeling. It's you feeling. It's not you thinking. It's not. It's not.
Very good answer. Let me do this. First of all, Doctor's Order. He says a $10 super chat. Femininity and appreciation are the winning ticket. That's right, brother. I appreciate you. Anthony Adamic. He just drops $10 in super chat. Hey, I appreciate you, brothers. Let's take a little bit of a break here. We have an excellent show, and I didn't even know what Prophet of Thought is a damn good host. I mean, this is a dude I would actually like to do a show with. So what I want to do, brothers, is while you're here in the super chat, like I said, we are bringing you the best black male content on the internet right now. What I'd like you to do is to like the video. Okay, let's like the video, brothers, because we have a wonderful guest. We have 113 people watching right now, 77 likes. We need 23 of you, brothers, to go and just, like the video. Okay, and get the video up. Yes, he is awesome. Black is Nice says this brother is awesome. That is absolutely right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Get the
And
likes up, man. You hear the man. Get the likes up, man. We
get
got
them
all
up.
these
Get them
people
up.
watching. Get the likes up. It only takes 2 seconds to hit that button, man.
Only 2 seconds. So you brothers like the video. We need 17 more to hit the 100 quota. And the reason why we ask you, brothers, to do this is because simply this helps the video get to more people on YouTube, and also it helps promote what we are trying to get across. We understand that in America, the black male is in dire straits. He needs help. In particular, and not just only the African American male. We're talking about all black men across the boards. So black men in Nigeria, black men who are in America who may not understand what is going on with them. So we have this brother on who is really a solution-based type of person. I know a lot of brothers look for the high-strung YouTubers that may have a lot of entertainment value, but today is about solutions. Okay, so let's thank you guys for that. Let's kind of get into more things with with the feminine presence. Okay, are you the kind of person? I know the Prophet of Thought series. I know you have a black wife, you have black daughters, things like this. I get a lot of emails from a lot of brothers who said, "Look, man, I'm tired of the USA." We had a brother that was on here yesterday that was from the Philippines. Shout out to Black American Expat. And the day before, my man Charles Tyler show, who was from Brazil. And shout out to a Contende Coyote for the $2 super chat. So he was there on the show. He's telling brothers, hey, leave African American women alone. There's nothing that you can do to make them have a feminine presence. Go elsewhere. What is your thoughts on that? With African American women not being able to be feminine, so therefore we must abandon them.
Well, unfortunately, that is true for a lot of them. Yeah, unfortunately, some of them are just lost and they're going to die alone. I mean, that's just the way that is. Not like I said, not all of them, but a big enough number of them. They're just going to die alone with a bunch of cats and plants and hoarders or whatever. But I don't have a problem with with brothers dating outside there, because my son, I have two sons too. I have two grown sons, and my grandkids, okay, my grandson and my granddaughter, uh they are half black and they half Puerto Rican. Because my son's wife, she's Puerto Rican. My oldest son, his wife is Puerto Rican. I'm about to be a grandfather again because they're about to have a baby. So I don't have a problem with brothers dating outside their race. Um, Now, what has it? Was it something for me? No, it was never an option for me. Now, mind you, I when I was young, I screwed everything that had a vagina. I didn't care what color it was or what part of the world it came from. But far as settling down and having kids, I always wanted to be with a black woman and all that kind of stuff. But if brothers feel like they have to get away from these American black women, even if they feel like they want to get rid of white woman, I don't even really have a problem with that. I mean, it's up to you. The only thing that bothers me is if you're a person who likes white women, but you talk black power. Now you can't talk black power if you're dating white women. Okay, I can't listen to you talk black power, but I don't have a problem with you. If you feel like you want to date white women, go ahead, brother. If you want to date Hispanic women, go ahead, brother. Asian women, you want to go to Brazil, find you a wife. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, because brothers, we have been pigeonholed into thinking that, we gotta be with these damn baby mamas who weigh 400 pounds, and we've been conditioned to think that that's all we should have. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think brothers should do the things that should make them happy. Okay, because that's what everybody else does. We are the only people who they pigeonhole into a corner and say, you must be with a black woman, you must do this, you must do that. They don't tell black women that. Shoot, when they see black women with a white man, it's a round of applause. It's a round of damn applause.
Right.
Okay, black men are the only people who they always saying, "Oh, you must do this." Like, come on, man. No, I don't agree with that. I think brothers should do whatever makes them happy, and if you like white women, just don't be talking black power. That's all.
Now, speaking of this, um, I don't know if you heard about the YouTube ad strike. I know that you have your own career, so you really don't care about that. But two of the YouTubers who came out, Jay Miller Speaks Out and Phil the Advice Show, they were talking about how blacks do not support each other. And Jay Miller Speaks Out, who does black community commentary, is married to, I think, a white and Mexican chick. And Phil from the Advice Show is married to a non-black chick either. And then they're saying, well, you guys don't support the black community. What do you think that many of their subscribers would have probably supported them more if they had black wives, you think? Or
Probably, because you kind of come off as a hypocrite to a degree. If you talk that black power stuff and then they see a picture of you with the blonde haired, blue eyed girl, they're like, wait a damn minute. What part of the black power equation is your wife? So, you kind of put yourself in a sticky situation when you're a black power person, but you only black power when you're on media. When you home, you black and white power. So it comes off as kind of hypocritical. Like I said, I mean, even if you I feel like this. If you a brother, okay, I don't have a problem with you being with a woman of color, because all of us people of color, we're not all in solidarity, but we all kind of have the same kind of things going on with us. But if you are a person who's, like I said, you got like a white wife or whatever case may be, it's hard for me to take you seriously when you get on your black power trip. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do things for black people and empower black people because you have a white wife, but it just kind of seems, it seems like you're putting on a suit. When you home, you're one person. Then when you walk out and get on your media or on your radio station, you put on this black suit, and now you this, fight the power type person. I mean, and it just comes off as highly, highly hypocritical. It just does, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Because if you look at someone like Barack Obama, now you can doubt whether or not he's considered black, whatever the case may be, right? But for the most part, in America's eyes, he's black, right? Do you think he would have got elected president if he had a white wife? Of course not.
never,
Of
not
course not.
even in years.
Of course not. It wouldn't have happened. Him having that black wife is what solidified his blackness. And if you're one of those people who have media platforms like we all do, and you're a person who speaks on black concerns, when people see you with a black woman, it solidifies your blackness in their perception, not necessarily yours. And they are more likely to support you if you have a black wife as opposed to if you had a white wife. They'd probably support you more if you had a Hispanic wife as opposed to a white wife, because of because there's a strange dynamic between black and white. Even though there's other ethnic groups and other races on this planet, the biggest dynamic is black and white for the most part.
Very true. And what you just said is 100% true. I just want to just add to that. I'll tell you why I think I got a lot of support in the Negro manosphere. It wasn't really because maybe the videos that I was putting out, and I put out some, pretty good videos over the last 2 years. But I think brothers started really, and even a lot of black females don't really consider me a black female hater, woman hater YouTuber anymore, for the fact that when people started to see that the woman that I'm engaged to and I'm gonna be with is actually a woman I've known for a long time. She's a black woman, and I moved her here to Poland to be with me. Once people were seeing me and her going to different parts of Europe, Hungary, we just came back, and she's here. Me speaking on black issues, I hardly ever get called coon anymore. I hardly get called you Uncle Tom. I never hear that. And it's almost what you said is 3,000% correct. You cannot be a black person. I always said this. You cannot be a black person with a non-black wife expecting to get support from the black community. You just can't. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
I don't care if you're on the left, if you're on the right. It's not going to happen. Especially if you are a black man.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not. If you're a black man and you got a white woman, do not expect the black community to support you. And they're not really going to take you seriously. I mean, some people will, brothers, we may give other brothers the benefit of the doubt. If they got a white woman, brothers will still try to give them the benefit of the doubt. But black women are definitely not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If you on somewhere talking that black power stuff, and then they see, blonde haired, blue-eyed Becky sitting on your lap, it's not going to go over well. It's not a good look. It's not. So, I mean, they have to be cognizant of that, and when you're in a situation like that, like we are, like I said, we on media. If you're a media person and you talk black stuff and you have a white wife, you better keep her hidden, brother. Don't let nobody see it. You better front, and you better front hard. You don't want people to, because all you do is setting yourself up, number one, to be called a hypocrite, and number two, you setting yourself up for people to not take you seriously and not support you. Okay, and attack you, because the first thing they're going to say is, oh, you talk this black power stuff and you say you for black society, but you married to this white girl. That's what people are going to say, and they are kind of justified for saying it. They're kind of justified for saying it. They are. If you true black power, you ain't laying down with a white woman every night. That much I can say. You're not. Now, if you're not a black power person, if you just consider yourself a black man and a black man doing your thing and, living your life, you got a white woman, hey, more power to you. But I don't want you on my damn computer talking about, oh, this is what we got to do in the black community, and the black people need this and black people need that. Now, shut the hell up, man. You laying down with Becky every night, brother. I can't listen to you, because it's just a show. It's not for real.
That's the thing. And another thing I noticed too is that the brothers, I like to say this, I'm not hating on anybody who dates interracially. I understand certain brothers, got to do certain things, and every brother ain't trying to, be living their life to care what nobody else thinks. But I can tell you, being in Poland and just, going throughout, people respect you a lot when you have, white men You know, black men, everybody likes to see people of the same race together. I
Hmm.
mean, people, they may not say that, you know what I mean?
Visually,
People,
it's the visual. The
yeah,
visual.
people like that, man. And that's the thing, you know. People like to see you with your same people. You know,
Hmm.
is you rather you will get more support from white folks and you get more support from black people if you stick with your
Absolutely.
own.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. White people, white people will actually treat you a particular way if they see that you're a black man, because I like I said, I run a power mechanic shop and I have white customers. White customers come. I'm around white people. So I have white customers, Hispanic customers, black customers, a whole rainbow of customers. And they treat me a certain way because they see my wife, at my shop. They see me with this white woman, this black woman, and not a white woman. So they treat me a particular way. And I know they would treat me different in business. If they saw me and a white woman together, they would treat me different. A lot of them probably wouldn't even come to my shop just
Hmm.
because I have a white wife. That alone, no matter how good my work is, they would not do business with me once they saw that I had a white wife, because they would think of me different for
Hmm.
whatever reason. And I don't know what those reasons would be per se, but if they saw me palling around with a white woman, I would lose a lot of white business. I would. And I'm pretty sure I would lose some black business as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just because of that.
Oh yeah.
You
Let me
know?
do this real quick. Man, we have an excellent show. Let's go ahead. We have 136 watching now. Do me a favor, brothers. 38. I need 20 of you to go down and like this video right now. Okay. So I have 103 likes. I'm looking to get. Actually, I'll take 17. So I can get 17 people to hit the like button on this particular video. That would be great. Basically, what that does is promoting the particular video when you do that. Shout out to my man Julian Brown, man, for supporting all the time. Voltron 512, Shy, Wake the Hell Up, Elizabeth Coleman. So you guys continue to get the likes up on the actual video, and then let me do this while we're doing that. We had a really a special guest, man. A guy just came in right from work, okay, and then in the hustle and bustle of North Carolina to speak to the brothers today on the platform. And the brother is definitely going to come back because he has a lot of knowledge. He's very, very good at the radio thing, as you can see. This brother, I think, has an opportunity. If he get his radio show back, okay, with the kind of content this brother can be really big. So we want to help support him. Brothers, let's go ahead and subscribe to the Prophet of Thought series. If we can, let us all direct our knowledge and our time into the chat. I just posted this link. Okay, let's go ahead and comment subbed once you see that. All right, so let's say for you brothers to go down and comment sub. Once you click the link, comment sub. What up, Leland? Victor, I'm out of school right now. I just have finals. And here's the thing, you niggas know. I mean, why do you guys come in here? Do you have a live stream? Y'all come here asking questions about stuff that ain't anything to do with the topic. All right. So, I mean, you
it's
guys
a
want to ask
it's a
personal questions.
it's
Go
a
ahead.
YouTube phenomenon. Some people just not gonna stay on topic, ODJ.
Oh man, niggas want to ask for cooking recipes and shit. Hey man, how you make that? Okay, so you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. All right, thanks, Victor. Okay, and what we want to do here, because actually I do have. Speaking of him, I do have an exam in the morning. So what I'd like to do, I mean, we had an hour chat here. I'd like for you actually to come back if
Mhm.
you have availability, so we can actually do maybe like a part two to this. Because actually, I do got to kind of get in the bed here because it's 12:23 a.m. here in Poland.
Yeah, man, you over there, man, in Europe, man. So, let me
Yeah.
ask you something before you go, man.
Sure, sure, sure.
Why Poland? Why Poland? What made you go to Poland?
Shit, I'm gonna just keep it real. Let me keep it real honest as I have before. So I played around with the idea of getting into. First, I wanted to go to pharmacy school in 2007. That didn't work out. I got several interviews, but I couldn't get accepted. So I went to work, and then my best friend got accepted into dental school at Meharry College of Dentistry in Nashville, and then it sparked a fire in me to this time. I wanted to do medicine as a background thing. Oh man, thank you, Jason Jones. $40. You balling, player. I see you. Thank you. Appreciate super chat, brother. So I decided that I wanted to, give it a second try. So I ended up going to a post-bac program, which was like a program that helped take some advanced classes to get me ready for med school. But then I took another 2 years off, and then this is my last chance. So I couldn't get in America because I was going to need to do another post-bac for 2 more years. And so this program would take me right away. And that's what I did. I came here. I'm in my second year. If I could pass these 3 last finals, I'll start my third year of rotations in July. And then I'll take some time off to study for the step 1. So time flies, man. Time flies.
So do you ever get back to the States at all?
I was just back in America in August. So I haven't been back since. But I want to say this. When I came here to Poland, I was like really dead broke. And just in 1 year, I got this channel, the other channel, the Negro Manosphere blog. We are on Patreon. I mean, living in another country, it puts your back up against the wall. You know what I'm saying? It makes you really have to hustle and do shit because you can't depend on your mom, you can't depend on your family. You know what I'm saying? So, and overall, it's been a good experience. So what I want to say is, if you guys have a chance to go someplace and do some things different, do that if you can. It'll make you a lot better. It'll make you do some things you never knew you could do. Hold on a second. Path Animal. O'Shea had to come back to get his money. A pimp's life. Yeah, your mama, bitch. Well, you know what? Let me. So that's why. I mean, this program gave me opportunity to come to the school, and it was either that or do what I was doing back in America, which was in dead end call center jobs and stuff like that. So I made this decision, and it was a good decision. So if you guys ever get a decision or chance to go someplace that's overseas, sometimes a place like Poland may give you an opportunity that the USA won't. The Philippines may give you an opportunity, and you have to take those opportunities before it's too late. So that's what I want to say. All right. Is there anything that you would like to say in the last words here?
I would just like for the brothers and the ladies too, this is for y'all too. First and foremost, know what you want out of life. Know what you want in a relationship. Know what you want from members of the opposite sex. Because if you don't know what you want, you're never going to get it. Never settle. Never settle. And by settling, I mean, never put yourself in a predicament where you have to accept something that you don't want. If you don't want it, let it be just that, something you don't want. And you may have to go a while. You may have to go a while before you actually get what you want. But trust me, it will definitely be worth it as opposed to settling. That's what I did with my kid's mother. I settled, and it didn't work out. The woman I'm with now, I've been with her longer than I was with my kid's mother, and she has my kids. I don't even have any kids with the woman I'm with now, but I've been with her longer than the woman that I had kids with, because with her I settled. And a lot of us do that as brothers. We settle for what we can get as opposed to what we really want, because we are just so anxious to have. Sometimes you can't be too anxious to have. You have to have the steadfastness to wait and understand not just what you want, but also what you need. And if you think these things, you're thinking like a man. You're thinking like a man, because no one can do for you like you can do for you. Okay, I say this a lot too. As far as women go, women's supposed to complicate your style, brother, not complicate it. If she's complicating your style, you don't need her. You don't need her. That's it. That's
All
all,
right.
y'all.
It's a good interview, man. Uh, before I leave, again, let me thank the Prophet of Thought series. He's also a moderator here on the chat. He does a really good job of moderating. He always comes in, when he can, and he kicks these trolls the hell up out of here. And he's a really, really, really good content creator. Like I said, I would really, really like to get him back on here because he can really carry a radio style of show. And this is good for a channel like this, because this is actually a vlogcast channel, which I have my personal vlogs here in Europe, and I do my podcasts and my interviews with the other brothers. My main channel is pretty much really just me, just doing my rants and stuff like that. But on this channel, we do a lot of networking. But Prophet of Thought series will be back a lot because he has good commentary. As you guys can see, if you download this MP4 or MP3, this is going to play all the way through. This is a very clean show. I think it was a textbook radio show. I think any brother who's looking to do radio are looking how to do it. Listen to this show. I think this is a very textbook show by Prophet of Thought series, how to run a radio show, how to do an interview, how to make it very clean, very understandable, and very easy for somebody to listen to and follow. So once again, let me put his name back in the chat for those who are still not subscribed. And you can go into the description link too, because he got about 30 subs. We want to make sure we get more than that. So brothers, go ahead here, subscribe to the Prophet. Go ahead.
I just want to say one more thing before we cut out ODJ. ODJ does some real good content. I mean, y'all need to support this brother. He's doing a lot, man, for the manosphere, man. He's doing a lot. I know you hear this from everybody who comes on and talks with him. So I'm going to be one of those brothers who says it too. You need to support this brother. You need to support his content. You need to support the Negro manosphere. You need to support. If you're not going to support with your dollars, support with sharing the videos, showing them to people, posting them on Facebook, whatever it is, do whatever you can. If you can't share with your money, share a little bit of your time, share a little bit of the, a few clicks. I mean, just do whatever you can do to get the message out, man. Let it spread. And hopefully brothers can get wind of this knowledgeable content, man, and it may help a brother out, because all it has to do is help one person, man. It's a success. That's what I say about my stuff, man. I mean, if I help one person, it's a success. So everybody who gets help after that makes it more of a success. So y'all need to support. Y'all need to look out. Y'all need to follow this brother. You need to put something in that collection plate and follow this man. He does good stuff, man. And the only reason he's one of the reasons why I do the stuff that I do. That's why, because I actually was gonna stop doing YouTube stuff, but I start looking at O'Shea. I start looking at Angry Man. I start looking at people like Obsidian, and I was like, I can't stop. I gotta keep doing this shit. I gotta keep doing it. So,
oh man, we're glad that you're doing it, man. Thank you for the kind words. Really, it's about. I'm gonna say this before I leave. When you look at everybody in YouTube now, everybody wants to be the next big YouTuber. A lot of people do. A lot of people want to be, have that big, huge fan base, and they want 100,000 subscribers, and they want to, live a YouTuber's life and things. A lot of people want that. With me, I know that it's about a group of people who need to work together, and that is the African American black man. And Prophet of Thought has a heart for the brothers. So do I. And we have to understand that we are a group of men in America who operate with a $600 billion at least spending power. All right. So $600 billion spending power. that is more than Nigeria and almost Ghana combined. Okay, and you brothers in America, you have that potential. Not to mention our brothers in the United Kingdom and things of this nature. So there should be no reason why we are lacking, why we are behind theoretically, why we don't have our own things. And the money isn't the problem. The problem is the brothers connecting and working together. Okay, because the brothers have money. I mean, you guys see this super chat all the time. Like this brother right here, he just donated $40. Now he wouldn't have gave it if he couldn't afford to give it. Obviously he got money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's not the fact that the brothers don't have money, okay, or the brothers don't have education. The problem is the brothers are not unified. And this, when we have elders like the Prophet of Thought series, VGS, Itmore, they're just trying to get us younger guys to get us together, okay? Guys like Theron Williams who can help you guys in different ways. I'm gonna bring him on here probably around, within the next week. He's a truck driver making a ton of money, doing a lot of big things. And see, brothers have to network. We have to network, okay? You guys know Chris Jones will be back here. He has 400,000 subscribers. Now, what's the difference between the Prophet of Thought channel, who have a 200, and Chris Jones, 400,000? You know what information you're going to get? Both people are going to change your life if you listen to what they have to say.
Exactly.
Both people are going to change your life, brother. And go ahead.
I want people to know, ODJ, that, I mean, and my channel, not to like try to brag on my channel or anything like that, but I mean, my videos, I have a plethora of stuff. I mean, it's not a one-trick pony. I mean, I talk about women, I talk about men, I talk about children, I talk about politics, I interview people. I mean, if you go to my channel, there's something there for literally everybody. Everybody from age 6 to 60 can watch my stuff. And it's pretty clean too. It only gets R-rated from time to time. It's pretty clean, so you don't have to worry about having the little ones in the room when you got the Proper Thought series on the computer. I just want to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. It ain't like my channel where I'd be cursing like a storm, but a good channel, man.
We all have our styles. I work my side of the block. I let everybody work theirs. That's kind of how I rock out. I mean, like I said before, I mean, I talk about women, but I don't talk about them that much because all you brothers got that covered. That's y'all side of the block. So I kind of stay on mine, except when I'm called. When I'm called now, you call me to the other side of the block, I'll come. But for the most part, I work my side of the block.
Well, so man, get with me, man. Let's see if we can set something up. I don't know what your schedule is, but definitely you gotta come back.
I'll shape it. We'll do something, and I guess in sometime within the next week or two, we'll do something. I appreciate you having me on, though, brother, man. This was nice, man. On here with the legendary O'Shea Jackson.
Oh no, man, I ain't legend yet. I ain't legend yet. But I do thank you, man, for coming on. The brothers was really giving you a lot of compliments in the chat. They really appreciate what you had to say. So, like I said, man, email. I'm gonna email you, and then I think Sunday I have an opening for right now. Or usually we do I do a round table, one of them big old kind of hangouts. But Sunday I ain't got nothing. Monday I ain't got nothing. So just get with me. The rest of you brothers, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We have Sansa Ray. Okay. That's going to be very interesting. I don't know if you know that, but Sansa, yeah.
I know who she is. She was on my show a while back. Yeah, she was on my show a while. I never posted it. I never put it on media, nothing like that. Of course, I still have it. But yeah, Sansa Ray was on my show a while back, man. A while back. Back when I think she called into my show back when I was still in the booth. Yeah, I've interviewed her before.
Okay. So this is going to be interesting. It's probably going to be a packed house because of that.
Yeah, I'm tuning in.
You got to. It's going to be a lot of
I will be tuning in. But I thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Good stuff,
man. You too. And thank you for coming on, man. Peace out.
Peace.